My name is Brittany,
And I'm Valerie.
and this
Is
The Juice Box.
Box.
Bringing you the juice.
On all the piping hot tea. News, politics, pop culture. Let's go!
Let's go.
She have talked to me, and me have talked to she. What the day is coming that we must meet personally. She have talked to me, and me have talked to she. What the day is coming that we must meet personally.
Woo, it's great to be here, Brittany. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, and it's great to be here too.
I gotta say, what I love most about the Juice Box is that we are dedicated to squeezing the juice on an otherwise god-awful news cycle. And we're not just talking about the same things or the same news that everyone else is talking about. We are plucking the finest fruits and squeezing the most delicious juice. Are you ready for it, baby?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go. In news, we have the median cost of housing in America increasing 500% over the last 30 years, but income levels not.
We know this and we feel this. 500%? That's insane.
Let's put it this way. When our moms and dads bought a home, it was somewhere between $100,000 and $250,000. Now, as a real estate agent, Brittany, can you tell us how much a house costs?
Oh, wow. Especially in Utah, the median house price is in the 4 to 600,000 range.
How are we going to
And
afford a $600,000 house with the same income?
you know what's even more crazy?
Mm.
You talk about when our parents bought. What about these boomers who you look back at their house, their statement, and it's saying they're buying houses for 40 grand. And especially if you're in California, you caked up.
Your little $40,000 cookie cutter Burbank home going for no less than $1.5 million.
That's who's really benefiting.
Oh man, it is so crazy and quite frankly unfair for our generation. And no, I'm not just a young folk complaining. Y'all messed us up.
We getting pinched.
I want to talk more about it though, because I never saw this articulated so simply. In the last 30 years, housing has increased 500%. Income levels have not. There's absolutely no expectation, no thought or consideration for our generations or middle class America to be able to afford a home in America.
And what do, right? We just put our head down and we got to keep it on moving
Because you
because
haven't stopped to think how unjust this truly is.
and there is a nationwide housing shortage, right? The buzz right now is the Fed is set to reduce interest rates, inflation is being tamped. So hopefully we are going to be seeing this even out. However, there still is a housing shortage, and that is going to continue to put pressure on pricing. And all the people sitting on the sidelines being discouraged by interest rates, even when those come down, we're going to see people flooding the market. So the anticipation is home prices are going to go up again, and we're going to see more bidding wars. We really have to get more inventory in the market.
Lies, band-aids, games. What you just said comes from an education because you took it upon yourself to study real estate, to be a real estate agent. You want to know what that sounds like to me?
What?
Games, Brittany. They're playing games with us, Brittany, and I don't like it. It's not fun.
But I like what you said, right? Because we work hard to deliver good, wholesome.
I don't know about holes.
We're not always trying to bring the doom and gloom. Let me lighten this up a little bit because one can only hope. So we have the Sun reporting a banking glitch saw one man go on a 1 million spending spree and walk free after the cops found out. I mean, this is like winning the lottery.
Please.
Can it happen to me? So we have Luke Brett Moore, an unemployed 22-year-old forklift driver from Australia who was accidentally given unlimited credit by his bank.
Delicious.
He says, I rang up my phone loan company and asked them if they could, instead of direct debiting my usual 500 a fortnight, do you know what a fortnight is?
I don't.
A fortnight is 14 days.
That's really good to know.
If they could debit 5,000, and that's when it all started. Me being able to access this enormous line of credit. So Moore called his overnight lifestyle incredible, noting he bought a new car, new clothes, attended extravagant parties. He went on a year-long holiday on the Gold Coast. He bought a fishing boat. By the time authorities realized what had happened, Moore had taken around 1.3 million US and splurged it on cars, drugs, and women.
Whoa, and he went off unscathed?
So after 2 years, Moore woke up to a knock at the window of his bedroom and was charged with fraud for obtaining money by deception and dealing with the proceeds of a crime.
Wow, guy, you really got off.
He was found guilty in 2015, but despite a jury finding him guilty, an appeal saw a court rule that there was no evidence of a crime being committed. By looking at the terms and conditions of the account, it clearly said that I was authorized to direct debit and overdraw. They had to prove that I wasn't authorized to do so, and they couldn't.
Wow.
Moore spent 6 months in prison during the appeal process, but ultimately he was let go.
That's amazing. I bet he thought every night in prison, it was worth it. It was worth it.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, so I had to read this a couple times. Basically, he was able by his bank to overdraw. So he just kept overdrawing,
That's
overdrawing.
crazy.
Dude, he's like, I'll do 6 months for this life.
Who
I just came up.
knew? Who knew? And the bank did not put a cap on it. And he was like, oh, they're just going to keep letting me do this?
You know, those first couple days, you're like, oh. And you know what? He might have got away with it if he wasn't being so extravagant. But you're a
Extravagant.
22-year-old and unlimited amount of money.
He said, I bought drugs, hookers, vacations.
I love that. You know, speaking of the doom and gloom of not ever being able to buy a house, just trying to get through the mundane
I
of
think
the
we
day.
could. Honestly, Brittany, I think if we organized well enough, we could have the power to bring this in a normal place that's beneficial for everybody. We can't just let the powers that play and control the money games screw the majority out of it.
Or you could be this guy who comes into a grip of money overnight. And you know they tried to get him on their oversight because they're like, whoa, we can't let this happen. But it was an oversight, and this dude came up.
Brittany, money again and again. It's all emperor's new clothes. It's this vain imaginary thing, and it's only powerful because we all subscribe to it.
I'd like to segue because what you just said, right? People who are naturally classy and sophisticated display these 7 behaviors.
Mm.
And this is great, right? Because of what you just said. Let me tell you, they carry themselves with grace. Their movements are fluid, posture is impeccable, and their body language is confident. Grace isn't a result of expensive finishing schools or extensive etiquette lessons. Instead, it is inherent that emerges effortlessly.
I love that.
They're comfortable with silence. Real class and sophistication are not always about dominating the conversation. True sophistication comes from understanding the value of silence. It comes from observing the world around you.
Enjoy the silence.
They demonstrate empathy. They value quality over quantity. In a society enamored with excess and abundance, these individuals understand intrinsic value of choosing substance over superficiality.
Wow, thank God.
How you like them apples? Because you talk about Emperor's New Clothes on every episode.
We have themes, we have motifs.
But this worked, okay? Number 5, they maintain a sense of curiosity, asking thoughtful questions, and listening intently. They practice good listening skills. 7, they embrace imperfection. Those who are genuinely classy and sophisticated know how to appreciate the beauty of imperfection. True class is not about maintaining an image. Instead, it's about acknowledging our flaws, accepting them, and understanding that they are part of what makes us human. How you like them apples?
Wow, so beautiful. Who wrote that?
I'm a classy bitch. That's what I'll say. With my pinky up.
You are. And the fact you chose to read that and bring that as the juice, I love it. It's delicious.
With my juice and tea.
Bring one of those every episode. We need to redefine our language. With social media, words have just gotten so jumbled. It's like noise, 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 noise. But when you take the time to read stuff like that people thoughtfully spent energy and experience with to deliver a message like that, please, we need more reminders like that.
Absolutely. And I get what you mean about not being on social media because I will go down the rabbit hole.
That's funny. And
Exactly.
some bitch. And oh, gee, how nice would that be?
I'll tell you one I saw, and I was like, I immediately thought of you. I was like, yeah, this is why. Dude, we got a guy on there who is doing a get ready with me. And his theme is what I would wear if I was in World War II on the front lines.
I had to spit out my water.
This shit was so stupid. And then I go on to read the comments, and what's even more dumb than this idiot choosing that topic for whatever reason is a person in the comments saying, "This is why I hope we have World War III."
Oh
I'm like,
my
"What?"
gosh, it's bringing out the worst in people, Brittany. Thoughts don't deserve to go there. They deserve to go places like that beautiful, eloquent quib you just read.
Amen.
Amen. In the name of Jesus Christ and all things sacred.
In the news of politics,
Politics.
we have UFC's Dana White passionately defends Bud Light in an interview with ex-Fox News correspondent Tucker Carlson.
I love that this is politics.
Just because it's Tucker Carlson. As the host suggested, everyone should still be boycotting the beer brand.
Wait,
So,
what? Why? Oh, because of the thing?
the thing. Okay, so we have UFC honcho Dana White isn't backing down from his decision to work with Bud Light again, despite the blowback. And here's the thing.
Stop controlling people.
So Bud Light was in partnership with Dylan Mulvaney. And for those of you who don't know, Dylan Mulvaney is a transgender TikTok star who promoted a campaign for the company's Easy Carry contest on social media.
But what was Bud Light trying to do?
You know what I do have to say? Look, I am all for inclusivity. Black,
All
white,
for it.
LGBTQ, A+, all of it.
All for it if the intention is pure in the heart.
When I look at the picture and see, here's the thing. I think they got this wrong. Okay. And it's based off of just even the picture that I see. This doesn't, and especially when you have somebody like Post Malone who reps Bud Light. That was a great partnership. And Post Malone is digestible. Everybody loves Post Malone.
He's humble.
I think they got it wrong with this. I think they missed the mark. But
Wait, this is the first time I'm seeing it. Are you talking about the flappers, black dress, and the Bud Light?
with the pearls, she's got the Bud Light.
This totally missed the mark. This is not your brand at all, Bud Light. WTF? What is this?
Missed the mark. But look, Dana White says, quote, "If you consider yourself a patriot, you should be drinking gallons of Bud Light, gallons. Anyone
Dana
proud-
White, shut up,
gallons.
idiot.
Anyone proud to be an American should be drinking straight from the keg. You should have
Anyone proud to be a gross ass American, get the out, Dana. Ew.
You should have Bud Light drum
For
stacked in your
breakfast.
garage.
You should.
Okay. Despite all of this, he said the common drinker is way more aligned with Bud Light than any other brand out there. Carlson also talked to Kid Rock recently about the controversy, who at the time was on film blasting cans with the AK-47.
Ball with the ball, to bang, diggy, diggy, diggy.
It's like, okay, when was Kid Rock the authority? But he backed down. He said the singer said he's moving on from the boycott and he feels the beer company got the message.
I'm dead.
It just goes to say, we want to hold on to these really trivial things. And if Kid Rock is the authority, I think Kid Rock even got the message. It wasn't a good look for you.
Amen.
In the news of pop culture, Sydney Sweeney shares video of the moment spider bit her while filming Anyone But You. Dude, you're laughing, but this is scary. Anyone But You co-stars Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. They separately share stories about how filming the same scene in the romantic comedy had them both feeling like they might actually die for different reasons. The film, which is filmed in Australia, plays on the notion of how dangerous the animals can be there, and for some spiders in particular.
It was a trained spider?
So the scene in question involves Sydney Sweeney finding a huntsman spider, which then jumps to her hand. Sweeney, sitting down with Jimmy Fallon, says, "They told me it was trained."
This spider? How would you know a spider was trained?
Literally, I died. Like, how the fuck do you train a spider? There's no way to quantify.
This is crazy.
I mean, they just don't have that type of consciousness. I'm sorry.
But we do have that Hollywood confidence to tell somebody this is a trained spider.
She even says, "I don't know how the F you train a spider. There's no way." So the scene involves her looking in shock and horror. And that's exactly what actually happened. Jimmy says, "They thought you were acting?" She says, "They thought I was making real serious dramatic choices in a rom-com. No one cut. I'm just sitting there with a spider on my arm biting me and I'm screaming and everyone is watching."
What a nightmare.
My worst nightmare. I can do snakes. Spiders to me.
She said they thought I made serious dramatic choices.
I think she makes it even more funny with what she says. And not only that, before I read her remarks about how you train a spider, I literally have the same. How do you train a spider? Okay, this isn't a dog. This isn't a bird. This isn't even. It's like saying that you trained a snake to perform an acting scene, right? I mean, snakes maybe can be docile, right? But you don't have a dialogue with a snake. You can't look into a snake's eyes and know what they are thinking.
It's honestly impressive to do that with any animal.
To trust that a spider would perform in your rom-com. It didn't want to be held. It obviously didn't want to star in your film. It said, "Let me out. Let me be free. This isn't what I signed up for. Call my agent."
There was no contract, no compensation. He knew how snaky Hollywood could be, and he said no.
"I didn't sign an NDA. I'm putting this on TMZ."
Oh my gosh. Well, in other news of pop culture, Netflix's A Joke Festival is making a comeback May 2nd and 12th, 2024 in Los Angeles with over 300 shows and a roast of Tom Brady.
He needs to be roasted.
He needs to be roasted. I can't wait for another great roast.
We need to bring him back down to earth with his 5 rings. And don't be saying you're going to come out of retirement. I know people might love that, but you know what? You can't play with us like that. How many times have you said it?
How many times has he said it?
You got the good looks. You were married to one of the
Giselle?
world's most famous superstars. You got your great career. I ain't mad at you, Tom Grady, but you know what? I bet they're gonna come full force for his butt chin.
Piss punch.
You know that's gonna be the butt of all jokes.
The butt chin. Oh, we shall see. I think the retirement will be a big one. I think messing things up with Giselle will be mentioned a couple times.
You know what? I don't find him to be good looking.
Oh my
I
gosh,
mean, I think he's good looking, but
he's
I don't know.
America's quarterback, Brittany. You know how society brainwashes people. They're just hooked to love Tom Brady.
I mean, you get points for being an
Any
athlete.
quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
All the
mean,
quarterbacks.
you get points for having money. I mean, that on it, I think makes you a lot more attractive. How many old billionaires do we see with these young hot girls, right? But
Ew.
I think just in general, like he's okay. He's not my like celebrity man crush. I don't think I would get starstruck over Tom Brady.
I think I would get starstruck over anybody who used their energy and their power to do something awesome.
But Netflix is a joke. I know that you went there last year. You had a great time. You
Such
talked
a
about
great
Micah
time.
playing in the pube pulpit.
The bad mouth inflatable jump house. It was so much fun. It was so fun. I highly recommend it to all Juicebox listeners. You could get on One Iota and get free tickets to a lot of great shows. I got to see David Letterman. He was pissed about it too. Somehow, some way, he found out people got free tickets to a show, and he made a whole set about it that wasn't funny at all. It was more disgruntled than anything. And then, weird enough, he's like, who paid? Who didn't pay for tickets? Who paid? And then he gave money to people who didn't pay.
Why that seems like such an flip-flop.
It
Like you're
was so
what?
weird. It was
Well,
so weird.
David Letterman, you know what? That takes you down a couple notches in my book because after you transition, did people pay to go sit in your late night show? Like,
No,
what's your
not at
problem?
all. No, people did not pay. I went to his late night show in New York with Amanda and Alice. We waited like 4 to 5 hours to do it, but it was a magical experience. By the time I got in the theater, I was so tired. I like slept through half of it, but
Yeah, you need me to wait in line for 4 to 5 hours, David Letterman, and who's the guest on your show? If it's somebody that's not even cool, pay me.
I pay me. Price is Right also does that. They totally make you wait in line for 4 hours. And by the time you actually get interviewed by a producer to get on the show, the energy is not there unless you really drum it up or sniff some cocaine. But that is so unsustainable.
You're like, but at least the price is right. You have a chance at winning something. David Letterman is just, they show that prompt, clap now, laugh now.
Yeah, laugh now. Ew, you're brainwashing people to laugh at things that really aren't that funny at all.
Did they at least give you like a good spread? Can you go get some food and water?
You can buy your own food and water somewhere else.
Shh, get out of here.
Yeah, real behind the scenes, all that glitters isn't gold.
At the very least, I want to be eating good food because I know you eat good food. That's one of my love languages. Give
At
me
least the
something.
charcuterie shit.
Give me some charcuterie up in here.
Thank you for pronouncing it correctly. In other news of pop culture, I got the Britney Spears book from my local library and just, wow, The Woman in Me is incredible. Must read 1,000%. Everybody deserves to read Britney's story from her side.
That's that California library. Like you got that book. They got a copy and it was already at the library.
Oh,
Was
it
it
was at the
crisp?
opening, crisp, fresh, brand new. My library's got a hot selection. Some of them are even autographed too. It is awesome, this library. Yeah,
What?
sometimes people even come to release their books there. The Barnes and Nobles at the Americana and the Grove, they always have celebrity memoirs released through there. So it's really exciting to go to the library, get Britney Spears' memoir, Britney. It is so good. She's way more naive than we all believed. She did not know Kevin Federline was married or had 2 kids before her.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that 1 second.
If you were willing to put up with that and have low standards, that's honestly where you fucked up.
Well, look, if I'm Kevin Federline's baby mama, because I thought she was pregnant. I thought it came out that she was pregnant. Look, K-Fed saw an opportunity. It is the princess of pop. But if I'm her name was Shar Jackson. I remember they already had a kid. I think she was pregnant.
Yes.
She had her own, she had her own little resume. I think she was on Moesha. I don't know. This ain't about her. But what I'm saying is, if K-Fed is going to get with the Princess of Pop, if he's going to leave me anyways, I'd be alright with that, getting that Britney money. But Brit I don't believe for
Wow.
a second that Britney didn't know. I think she's naive. I don't believe that she didn't know. What else?
Well, the story is told in a way that is obvious. She's leaving some details out. She does admit she was partying, she was going hard, but she was not going as hard as the conservatorship warranted. And her dad was psycho controlling. They knew everything she ate. He kept calling her fat too. Absolutely unacceptable. But they knew when she went to the bathroom. They were so controlling of her, and like she was taking energy pills that one of her boyfriends, somebody that she really like dated for a couple years, super healthy guy, she describes it as he shared his knowledge of nutrition with me. He shared these energy pills with me, and when my dad saw how it was making performing on stage, he sent me to rehab. 3 times her dad sent her to rehab with crack and heroin addicts, separating her from her kids, mass manipulating this poor girl, Brittany. Yeah, she admits, okay, yeah, I was partying too hard, but what the fuck? These people hijacked my life for no good reason.
Energy pills. Yeah, okay. What else?
Well, the boys, like, they're her love, they're her life. Like, at the time, she was still with Sam, so she was talking of him pretty fondly, but you could tell Brittany has a sweet heart. I think the big takeaway, too, is that this is a girl, Mickey Mouse Club, growing up, she just wanted to sing and dance and entertain. And be careful what you wish for, because that wish was not specific enough. She got to sing, she got to dance, she got to entertain, but the way that Hollywood and these gross music producers, like the dude that produced Slave for You, and not Pharrell Williams, but the guy responsible for like distributing that song to the masses through the radios. I remember when I heard that song at 11, I was like, Brittany, this song is
I'm a
gross. Slave for
get it, get
you.
it, get it, get it,
I couldn't code it.
get it, get it,
I
get it, get
cannot
it.
control it, baby.
That was not one of her best songs. Let's leave Pharrell out of this because he could do no wrong. That was not one of her best songs.
It was awful. And the dude, he's just this big, white, fat cat, gross, greasy dude producing this song, turning Britney out. And she's young enough that she can't stand up for herself or doesn't know how to. And she's doing it in front of the masses. And she always thought that it was so weird that everybody felt like they could talk about her body, like they owned it, or that they had any right or claim to critique it.
Well, TMG just reported her dad had to have his leg amputated. So maybe in a roundabout way, that was karma.
Whoa. She said he was a raging alcoholic and that the first time he ever got to make a substantial income was off of her and through the conservatorship. And she's pissed. Jamie Lynn was like, Brittany's like, this is wrong, Jamie Lynn, I need help. Like, you could tell she was so mentally jacked by other people's suggestions and ideas for her life. And her dad was in charge of everything she did. Everything she did. She said of the Las Vegas residency, she wanted to change her song and dance and remix. She got tired of producing the same shows. She was so proud to do Vegas, but he wouldn't even let her change the show. He was in charge of everything, in charge of what she ate, in charge of what contract she did. He's the one that said, do the Diane Sawyer video. It was Justin who really messed her up and the abortion.
You know what, though? Because we talked about this and I thought about it. I don't want to see Justin go out like that because I genuinely feel like,
I don't
and
want to
this
see
is,
him go out like that either,
I
but
don't
it
want to
was
see him
real
go out like
douchey.
that.
It was just douchey. I mean, he's a little bit of a douchebag for it. Super douche.
Say it one more time.
Duper douche.
Uh, well, hopefully this book, she got things off her chest, hopefully that they can all come together. Because at the end of the day, your family is your family. But to that point, you're out of the conservatorship, you wrote your book, you got your side out. And at this point in your life, and I know for me too, You can't tell me what to do, especially if you're not paying my bills.
Amen. You
If
got
I'm
to
funding
reclaim this
everybody's
narrative.
lifestyle, y'all need to get down or lay down. I got this shit. This is Brittany.
1000%. Take all the time you need to heal, but when you're ready, we are all there to buy that next album.
Let's go. We have reached this part in our show, pass or a yeah.
Yes.
It is almost Christmas time, and I am in the mood. What we got?
All right, we're going to flip the script. I will ask the questions and you will answer pass or a yes.
Woo!
Woo! Let's start off with the little drummer boy.
Too repetitive. It's actually funny that you started off with that. That is my hardest pass. I know. Loathe that song. Next.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Have yourself. Yeah, classic, mellow. You get a yes.
What about Holly Jolly Christmas?
Have a holly jolly. I like it. Upbeat, got a good melody. Yes.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Prosperos años felicidad.
All you could say in that song is Feliz Navidad. And then when they go on,
Play those trumpets.
you just looking all ignorant or you just completely stop singing. But I still give you a yes. I like how you represent.
Yes. Jingle bells.
Jingle bells, jingle bells. I think that one's for the kids. I'm going to give it a yes.
Silver bells.
Silver. Oh, and especially if Johnny Mathis sings it. Yes.
Blue Christmas.
Oh, is this Elvis?
It is.
Blue, blue, blue Christmas. You know what? I'm going to give it a yes just because even though I know Elvis was such an icon, I actually had this thought like Elvis passed way even before I was born. And while his music and what his contribution was, I think he will go down as an icon. But how long? How many generations? Our kids don't know about Elvis.
Oh, I bet they do because of the Baz Luhrmann film. And I watched that on the way to Egypt, and it gave me an appreciation for Elvis I never knew. You know why Elvis is a badass?
Why?
Besides
those gyrating hips.
Besides those hips and besides his music being so groundbreaking, fresh, and new, Elvis was a badass because he stood up for black people. He was a poor white guy that lived around a bunch of black people. He saw how they sang in gospel churches, and he carried that spirit with him into music with no prejudice at all towards black people. And the feds, the government was like, Elvis, you can't have these shows and have black people. And he's like, watch me do it. Elvis, along with James Brown, helped completely integrate American culture, black and white. These people are freaking awesome. How dare you judge them for your superficial bullshit?
Well, there you go. Elvis, you get a yes.
Elvis,
Thank you. Thank you very much. Wait, let me do it again. Thank you. Thank you very much. Wait. Thank you. Thank you very much. Choose one of those three.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry... I'm going to give that one a pass.
What about Last Christmas, Wham?
Ooh, pass.
Thank you. Thank you. I hate that they keep trying to push this on us.
That's exactly, you push it. And it's not even the best one. Out of all Christmas songs, that ain't it that you're going to just try to jam down my throat. That ain't it. Pass.
Santa Tell Me, Ariana Grande.
Ooh, pass. Look, I get when celebrities come out with a Christmas album, right? And then they got to go a couple originals. That ain't it. Pass.
The Christmas song, Nat King Cole.
Nat King Cole. He and Johnny Mathis,
Delicious.
They're delicious. The voice, anything. I give it a yes.
Yes. Carol of the Bells.
Ooh, you know what? That one gets a yes.
That gets a yes. That one is one of the most thoughtful Christmas songs out there.
It's dun 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 dun.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? I love it because it's almost like dark. It's dark, but it's also cheery. I think it's very infamous.
Yeah, you're right. It is a little dark.
You get a yes.
Gloria.
Pass.
No, Brittany, I can't put that on the final recording. I was just asking you, what's that song called?
No, I don't know what it's called. The way that you sang it made it sound even worse than the original.
It did.
But the original wasn't good either. Pass.
In excelsis
And what does
Deo.
that even mean? Pass. See, it's too long. And then yeah, in excelsis. It's like, what? Is that English? Is that a different language? What does it mean? Somebody tell us.
What does it mean? Okay, last but not least.
I already know.
I
already know.
You
I already know.
guessed it.
And people hate on her. She cannot help. Let me give you, and then I'll tell you, because everybody already knows. She cannot help that song blew up. Okay, and while they do overplay it, and while it starts the day after Halloween, she is the queen of Christmas. Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey, all I want for Christmas is you.
You get a yes.
Yes.
And if you don't like it, you're a hater.
If you don't like it, you're the problem.
You're the problem. It ain't her. This woman is set for life. Her kids are set for life by this song.
And baby, all I want for Christmas is you.
I don't want a lot. The start before they bring in the, look, they do overplay it, okay, but look, this is MC. She's got it.
Mariah Carey, you get a yes.
You get a yes. And that is it for this week's episode of The Juice Box. My name is Brittany.
And I'm Valerie. Woo! Woo!